I took the wrong exit at 2 a.m. and ended up somewhere I should never have been. Back in 2022, I was driving from Indianapolis to St. Louis after a business trip. The drive should have been straightforward, interstate all the way. But around 2 a.m., I realized my gas gauge was lower than I thought. When I saw an exit sign advertising gas, food, and lodging, I immediately took it. The second I left the interstate, something felt off. The exit ramp curved down into complete darkness. No businesses, no lights, nothing. At first I assumed everything sat farther down the road, but after driving nearly 2 miles, still nothing. The GPS signal started jumping around strangely. Road names kept changing, and every direction looked exactly the same. Old industrial buildings, abandoned warehouses, empty parking lots. I remember checking the interstate behind me. It was gone, completely out of sight. Then I noticed another vehicle, an older white sedan sitting beside a closed building. The headlights were off, but the second I drove past, its headlights turned on. At first I didn't think much of it. Then the sedan pulled onto the road behind me. I made a turn. It followed. Another turn. Still behind me. My stomach immediately tightened. I accelerated slightly. The sedan accelerated too. For nearly 10 minutes, I drove through empty roads trying to find the interstate again. The car never left. Then I spotted a gas station ahead. Or at least I thought it was a gas station. The building looked abandoned. Windows boarded. Lights off. The pumps didn't even exist anymore. That's when I realized something horrifying. The exit sign on the interstate had advertised businesses that no longer existed. I had exited into what was basically a dead town. And now the white sedan was getting closer. Much closer. I finally called 911. The dispatcher stayed on the line while helping me navigate back toward the interstate. Then suddenly, the sedan pulled beside me. The driver rolled his window down. A man stared directly at me. No expression. No wave. Nothing. Then he pointed ahead, toward a side road disappearing into darkness, and smiled. I ignored him completely. The second I reached the interstate entrance ramp, the sedan stopped following. It simply pulled over near the shoulder and parked, watching me leave. Police later told me something disturbing. Several travelers had reported being followed after accidentally exiting into that same abandoned industrial area, but nobody ever figured out why. I was driving through Tennessee late at night after visiting family. Around midnight, I noticed a woman standing near the end of an exit ramp. Alone. She looked young, maybe mid-20s, wearing jeans and a gray hoodie. At first I assumed she had car trouble, but as I got closer, I realized there was no vehicle anywhere nearby. The woman stood under a streetlight, waving both arms desperately. I kept driving initially. Then guilt hit me. What if she genuinely needed help? So I pulled over roughly 50 yards ahead. The woman immediately started running toward my car. Fast. Much faster than I expected. The second she reached my passenger window, she started crying. Real tears. Shaking. She said someone was following her. That her boyfriend had become violent. That she needed a ride to the next town. Honestly, it sounded believable. But something felt wrong. I couldn't explain it. Then I noticed something strange. The woman never looked scared. Not really. She looked focused, like she was concentrating on something behind me. I glanced into my rearview mirror and saw movement near the exit ramp. 3 men stepping out from behind a concrete barrier, just standing there, watching. The woman immediately noticed me looking. Her expression changed instantly. The tears stopped, completely, like someone flipped a switch. Then she quietly said, "Please unlock the door." Not pleading anymore, demanding. My heart dropped. The men behind her started walking closer. I put the car in drive immediately. The woman slammed both hands against the window, then screamed something I couldn't hear. The men started running. I drove away without looking back. Police later investigated after I reported the incident, and according to an officer, similar setups had been reported before. A woman alone on an exit ramp. A sympathetic driver stops. Then accomplices appear. The goal? Get the driver out of the vehicle. And after hearing that, I realized how close I came to making a very bad decision. I worked as a regional sales representative, which meant spending countless hours driving interstates across the Midwest. One October night around 1:45 a.m., I exited near a small town in Missouri, hoping to find coffee before continuing home. Halfway down the exit ramp, I saw reflective vests ahead, 3 people standing near orange cones. At first I assumed road construction. One of them stepped forward holding what looked like a flashlight and signaled me to slow down. So I did. The person pointed toward a side lane and waved me over. Again, I thought they were road workers, until I noticed something. No trucks, no equipment, no flashing construction lights. Nothing. Just 3 people standing on an exit ramp. My stomach immediately tightened. Then the person with the flashlight started walking toward my driver's side door. Fast. Not like a worker. Like someone approaching a target. I accelerated instantly. The person jumped backward, and that's when all 3 started running. Not away. Toward my vehicle. I sped through the cones without stopping. Looking back, I saw them dragging the cones off the roadway immediately. Almost like they'd done this before. I called police while driving. The dispatcher instructed me to continue toward a nearby highway patrol station. As I drove, another terrifying realization hit me. A pickup truck had pulled onto the road behind me from a gravel lot near the exit ramp. The truck followed for several miles. Every turn, every lane change. Still there. Eventually I reached the patrol station. The pickup immediately turned around and disappeared. Police investigated the exit ramp area later that night. What they found was disturbing. The cones weren't official equipment. They were stolen. And several similar incidents had occurred throughout that county over previous months. Drivers reported fake roadblocks appearing on isolated exit ramps after midnight. Nobody was ever arrested, but officers believed whoever was responsible specifically targeted travelers who were unfamiliar with the area. People who wouldn't immediately realize something was wrong. And ever since that night, I never stop on an exit ramp unless I can clearly see exactly who's waiting ahead.